Today, not only are Nigerians struggling to afford daily consumables, prices of medication are spiraling out of reach of the poor. In some cases, prices have gone up by 300%, and it's not a common sight to see patients beg for alms just to be able to afford their medications. In this story, Gist Nigeria's Mercy Franks talked to some patients in Lagos, Katsina and Akwa Ibom to understand how these soaring prices are affecting them, and also spoke to experts to suggest how to resolve the crisis.
A race against time in a raging medical emergency.
The situation is there. It affects millions of Nigerians who are living below the poverty line. The power to purchase their drug has diminished radically.
It's a tale of desperation, depression, and dire consequences.
It's something that we're going to deal with for a long period of time. There is no time frame for this to end. The money that we could have actually put aside to do other things, we find out that we're actually allocating it to drugs.
Drugs, the very heartbeat of healthcare, are gradually becoming a mirage for many. The potential human toll is alarming, the mental torture even higher.
Before I can get one treatment, I have to call my friend to assist me.
Like brain drain, the world's most populous black nation is facing another medical emergency. Prices of drugs and other medication have steadily climbed in the last year to astronomical heights. Brands of antibiotics, which cost between 3,500 naira and 4,000 naira before the first half of 2023, now goes for between 26,000 naira and 40,000 naira. Anti-asthma medication moved from between 6,000 and 8,000 naira to 15,000 naira and 55,000 naira. Painkillers sold for a minimum of 100 naira per sachet now goes for between 350 naira and 2,900 naira, depending on the intensity of the prescription. For many Nigerians, this rising cost is not just a statistic, it's a daily battle for survival. It's a situation Ife Oga in Uyo, the capital of Nigeria's southern Akwa Ibom state, is all too familiar with. Every breath has become a struggle for her 9-year-old son, who is asthmatic.
We're not just struggling with the increase in price, we're also struggling with the scarcity. Before we could get this medication, we had to order for it, and it took 3 weeks before it got to us. We're currently in Uyo, and this is a drug we could actually walk into any pharmacy store and get. But moved around up to 10 pharmacy stores in Uyo, and we couldn't get it. We had to actually contact one of the pharmacy stores here, and they had to place an order and get it down for us within 3 weeks.
The situation is no different in Katsina, northwestern Nigeria. Isiako, who bears the burden of a prolonged illness, tells Just Nigeria the crisis has left his bank balance in the red.
Last year, the drugs are more cheaper than this year. I used to purchase drugs that was up to 7,000 naira in a week. But now, I do spend more than 15,000 naira on drugs every week. The sickness is almost eating up all my wealth. I have sold my cow.
Aisha is facing the same situation, her last resort being prayer to God for healing.
I do buy paracetamol for them if I am not having the money to take them to a hospital.
Living with breast cancer on a monthly income below the minimum wage, this woman's ability to purchase her medicine exactly when she should is a matter of life and death.
The drug I purchased about 200,000 naira in October now cost over 300,000 naira in November. Where will I get the money from?
This Federal Medical Center on Lagos mainland, which was once a beacon of hope for patients, is now a battleground. With heightened financial burdens leading to decreased access to crucial medications, patients are daily left with difficult choices.
Access to medicine is one of the things is disturbing drug security. That's where people now go to buy the lesser product. now you now introduce them to fix.
Then there is also the option of having to go traditional, where people begin to look out for, is it traditional or natural now? They look out for natural products. But again, some of these products you can't really, they have not been vetted.
On the long run, the consequence of this is we have a high mobility rates among the vulnerable people in the society.
Now let's take a closer look at the numbers. A comparative analysis of the price of prescription drugs and medication between the first half of the year and now reveals a sad reality. Now, figures by Nigerianpolitics, a research data hub in Nigeria, indicates that the rise in the price of medication might not be unconnected with the exit of GlaxoSmithKline, one of Nigeria's biggest pharmaceutical players. The story was not so in 2004, when a survey carried out by the Ministry of Health in partnership with WHO revealed that patients pay between 2 to 64 times higher than international reference prices for medicines. Almost 20 years later, with the figure at an alarming 300%, patients have to pay 3 times much more than benchmark prices. Why do Nigerians have to bear this heavy burden?
About 70% of pharmaceutical or medicines used in Nigeria are imported as finished products. Then about 30% is locally manufactured. But even the 30% that is locally manufactured, the active pharmaceutical ingredient that's the raw material is also imported.
The federal government recently lifted the ban to access foreign exchange to import items like toothpick and palm kernel into the country. Pharmaceutical products and consumables were not on the list.
The medical industrialization is trying to build an ecosystem so that our private sector is able to produce locally quality pharmaceuticals that would be affordable to our population, since we don't have to import them, and also ensuring that we have health security, and that includes domestically manufacturing the commodities that we need.
While policies may suggest good tidings, pharmacists are not very optimistic, as foreign influences may still hamper desired results.
In India and China, there's what they call Indian standard and China standard. Okay? They created this standard to be able to grow their manufacturing sector. But Nigeria, we are yet to be industrialized, and we are insisting on WHO standard.
So the questions begging for answers are: for how long do Nigerians have to bear this burden? And what can be done while waiting?
Research needs to be funded. You need to make budgetary allocation to such. We can't just keep on depending on the Western world to fund the research projects.
We also need to educate our members in the healthcare team, the physicians, not to throw everything in the health, so to say, environment out, but the ones that have been proven scientifically, they should go into the system.
While many, like Isiaku, Aisha, and Ife's son, groan, it is unthinkable how quickly the situation can go from bad to worse if medicines are not made accessible and affordable very soon. Mercy Frank, Just Nigeria.
A situation that needs to be addressed urgently. What do you think about this story? Share your thoughts and pictures with us on X at Just Nigeria TV. We'd like to hear from you.